will show on our screen. Namaste, I'm Poonam Upadhyay, founder of Tathastu Holistic Health and co-founder of Sampoorna Naari. And when we speak about Sampoorna Nari, what is Sampoorna Nari? What does it indicate? Sampurna means a complete, and Nari is woman. But the woman, she divides herself in each and everything. You can, it's very difficult to stay without a woman because she'll be there. Her emotions, her presence can be felt on the food which you eat. Her presence can be felt on the clothes which you wear. And when a woman connects with another woman, they, the language is not a barrier because the emotions are connected. The mother is mother wherever she is. A woman, a wife is a wife wherever she is. So today we have a very special guest with us, Mireille Tokulima, who will be presenting about her journey with us. She's here to motivate us, inspire us. So, welcome, Mireille. Thank you for accepting our request for coming and sharing your journey with all the viewers.
It is my pleasure. Thank you for the invitation. And I'm really excited to interact with all the viewers and really share my story because I think it's important to inspire other women when they can see that their sisters can do something. It gives them the motivation to try and to also go to the next level of that greatness, because I'm really all about greatness. So that's just a pleasure to be here.
Oh, that's great. Let me tell you more about her. She's an award winning global entrepreneur, global energy consultant, global influential, woman empowerment advocate and champion, international speaker, published author, online talk show host, and humanitarian. She is an author and she has published 3 books, Stepping in Your Greatness, 12 Rules for Building an Outstanding Life, and many other. She has worked and lived across 4 continents, and she has received numerous international awards. She has been featured on TV, radio, podcasts, talk shows around the world. And she has been identified and recognized as woman of influencer in the energy sector too. And she is very passionate to work with women because she, as a part of her empowerment and humanitarian work, she is advocating against gender based and domestic violence building on her global influence using different platforms she created. And she is working with the ladies or women and creating awareness about the issue of domestic violence and other issues related to women. And she is a part of new wave of women who have embraced non-traditional industries, globalization, innovation, and many more things. Welcome, Mirel. There's lots to tell about you, but yeah, then also I've completed in short.
Yeah, I think it's the short version, but it tells it all. I've worked, like you said, through 4 continents. I'm originally from Africa, so West Africa, and then I've worked and live in Europe. I've worked and lived in Asia, and now I'm based in Australia, which is now home for me. So lots of experience with different people, and really got, the diversity in the way. And that's why, when people ask me, where are you from? I say I'm a citizen of the world, because I have taken a little bit of everything, everywhere. So I belong to the world. I don't belong to any country.
Wow. So can you tell us in brief about yourself, like a
So,
short?
like I said, I was born in West Africa, in a country called Gabon. That's a former French colony. And at the age of 14, so I left my country to go boarding in a family in France. And that's how, the diversity and all the move that I had to do later on started. So got there to study, like just like every single parent, because my parents were not really wealthy, but they put all their money to make sure that me and my sibling get the right education. So for them, sending me to France was really a sacrifice to make sure that, I get the right education, and I can also later on help other people. So that's where, I started, got there, study, went to uni, and then adversity started to strike. So as I was finishing my bachelor, my dad, who was supporting me in a way, passed away suddenly. So I had to go back to Gabon and really start working. So finish the bachelor and start working. I wanted to continue, but I couldn't, didn't have, enough money to stay there. So I went back, and that's how, I got involved in the oil and gas industry. And I always tell people that, the story between me and the oil and gas industry is love at second sight, because that was not my first choice, but I was brought into it because of the drama that I was going through. That was the only industry where I could get a job. And it was at this time booming
Oh,
back, in Gabon. So I got, the chance to enter the industry, even if I studied information technology, but for, God willing, I could actually get a position in, in a oil and a very big, actually, oil and gas industry, and start to build up, by being, by getting more knowledge, starting from knowing nothing to empowering myself through, getting mentors, sponsors, and really pushing myself and believing in myself, because I think that's really the message that I want to send to, all the women and women entrepreneur is, this belief sometimes that we are missing. We have the, we are talented, we are smart, but I think what I've seen so far working in different countries, in different regions, is this belief that we sometimes lack, and we're not really pushing ourselves. But I mean, for different reasons, sometimes we are blocked by culture. Sometimes we are blocked by different things, family reason, because like you said, we are moms, we are wives, so it can be very difficult to also have a career. So really, building on that. And when I went into this industry, I went with this, mindset that, not really believing in myself, and just letting things happen to me until I woke up and realized that, I had, an opportunity to make an impact, and I should actually start, making this impact and pushing myself. Yes, it was hard. I was challenged by my colleague, because it's a very male dominated environment, but I kept pushing. I kept, educating myself. I kept, building my network, because that's an important factor to be able all the time go to the next level, to the next level, to the next level, until I could, reach the level that that I've reached today. So really pushing myself and becoming really a force and an influencer in this industry, not only locally but also internationally, because I was, moving from one country to another, and really showing what I could do. And even when I didn't know, I would just ask and really push myself to always be abreast of what was going on, and really pushing myself. So lots of experience in the oil and gas. And then, I realized that, just being in the oil and gas was not serving anybody, especially, when I started. I didn't have mentors. I didn't, because I was the only woman back then in the company, in the different company that I was working, the only Black woman. So I didn't have any support in a way. So I had to, for me, it was about, becoming the role model that I've never had. So that's really what been driving me so far, saying, yes, maybe I didn't have role models back then in this industry, but I'm going to be one, so that the
Wow.
next generation of women who are entering and who are, a minority, see that, it's possible, because I've been able to do it. They can do it. They can even do better, because they can build on what I've already created and go higher. So that's really what's driving me forward, really pushing, sharing my story, and coaching, mentoring women where I can, to make them understand that they're only limited by what they put in their head. But,
Yeah.
as long as, they have the right mindset, the gender is nothing. They just have, it's about the mindset, and it's about really pushing themselves, believing in themselves. Yes, I mean, there's gonna be hardship. I mean, you're gonna stumble, but keep going. Keep, looking for the positivity and the opportunity in the challenge that you go through, and it will bring you, it will bring you where you want to be. So really, that's who I am. And
Wow.
people call me the greatness engineer, because I always talk about greatness. Everything for me is about greatness, because I think we all have greatness inside of us. But, the difference is that some know their greatness and they unleash it. Some have it, but they don't. It's still inside, and have not really started the process. So that's really what it's all about.
Completely agree with you, and it's very inspirational
Mhm.
about your thing. But yes, we have a couple of more questions for you,
Mhm.
so that step by step we understand more about you. And there might be someone whose story will be similar to what you faced or how your things were.
Mhm.
So they might come out of their shell. So, firstly, let's start with your childhood. Like, as you told that your father was very inspirational, and like he uh, offered you and your daughter like good schools, and he
Mhm.
sacrificed a lot. So
Mhm.
what was the thing? There might be some incident or some uh, some memories, old memories, where you can connect it to the passion or the work you are doing it now.
Mhm.
So if you can share that with us.
So I was really very inspired by my dad, because he had such a powerful story. It was My dad was very poor, but what happened is that he couldn't actually go to school before the age of 12, because he was so poor. Nothing, he had to wait. And the church actually helped him to start, going to school. And through the process, he started really late, and like I said, the church came and helped. And with the help of the church, he managed to go and finish his studies in France as well. So when he was there, because he was older than, the rest of, in every single class that he was, sometimes they were even calling him grandpa. But beside all of that, he managed to graduate and become an engineer. And then when he came back,
Wow.
he was actually the first engineer in his family. So I was really inspired by his determination, despite all the obstacle, the age, the poverty, and whatever, he had to go through. So that was really my inspiration. And the same with my mom. My mom was a teenage mom. She had a first child when she was 17, and then she was abandoned by the dad of this child. But she met my dad, and then she actually had to stop even at some point to stop going to school. But when she met my dad, she went back to school. And back then she had already 6 kids, but she went back to school to become a medical practitioner. And
Wow.
so strong personalities. So two big personality who actually made it through because of education. And that's one message that my dad was always saying, is that I'm not going to leave you houses or all kind of uh, capital or whatever you expect. For me, wealth, the real wealth is education, and that's what I'm going to leave you. So for you and your sibling, I'm going to put everything that I have so that you get a good education. And when you have this good education, you don't need the money. You can create your own wealth. So for me, my mission is really just, making sure that you get the right education, and you will understand later that, I don't need to leave you the cars, the things, and whatever. You can create your own wealth through the education, formal education, but also informal education, because you never stop, you never stop
Learning.
learning. It's a continuous process. You have to still learning, and through this process, you expand, you grow, and you become wealthy. Because in a way, it might be wealthy by being wise, but it also can be wealthy by getting creating this generational wealth that people go want to go after. So and I've seen it so far, and every time I have this actually phrase that my dad used to say, you have to educate yourself. Education is the real wealth.
Wow. Really salute to your parents,
Hmm.
because there are heroes everywhere,
Hmm.
but then the people don't recognize, because he has changed the life of everyone who
Hmm.
was involved with him.
Hmm.
Really very motivating story,
Hmm.
Mireille, and I can see that he has not only given you the wealth of the education which is on the books or paper, it
Hmm.
he has also provided you with the wealth which is of something internally, that how we can be blissful and happy. So
Hmm.
combination of both the things are
Hmm.
very much important, and that's why you are doing so good. And like, after reaching that point, you are also helping people. So I think
Exactly. Hmm.
that
And
is very important.
that's what it's all about, is that you create this, I mean, you do well yourself, but don't forget that you live in an environment. You have to keep empowering other people, and that's what I do. I said my story is not just my story, it's every woman's story. So I need to
Absolutely.
share, and if I can inspire women through the process, I've done my job. So that's really what it's all about.
Very true. So another question is like, the passion. Like, how did you create the passion which is there? Like, what made you so passionate about your work which you are doing, and
Mm-hmm.
who all were the inspiration? Because shifting to different continents, different countries, it's not easy. Though you shifted, you learned there, but with that learning also comes different things. So what
Mm-hmm.
was that passion which kept you going?
So, I mean, I'm like I said, I'm very passionate about people and especially greatness because, like I said, for me, I understood at some point that I am the CEO of my life. So whatever mindset I have, that's what's going to drive my life. So that's really my passion, really see people transform themselves by understanding that, they are unlimited. And when they tap into this greatness that they have, they start to do incredible things. And when they understand that, they are unstoppable. And that's really what's driving me because I see, especially women, I see a lot of talented women, very smart women being stuck, in the wrong mindset, and they miss the opportunity to really, become the best version of themselves. And that's really what's my passion, is that make them understand that you can do more. You already have everything that you need. It's just about you changing your mindset and really going for it and believing in yourself, because that's really what's going to set up everything. People are going to say things about you. People are going to put obstacle. People are going to challenge you. Life is might not be easy, but if you have the right mindset, you will see the light at the end of the tunnel. And that's very important to know. That's really my passion in all of this, is understand that whatever happened, I'm always in control. I'm always in control. And if I decide to be negative, I'm gonna live a negative life. If I decide to be positive, even in challenges, just looking for sometimes there's just this only opportunity that is there, and focus on that, my life will be positive. So really, that's the passion of knowing, that this every single one of us is unlimited, and we can do so much for humanity when we understand that.
I feel like listening to you more and more. You're so inspirational and you have so much of positivity.
Mhm.
The one thing, like what we notice, that the positivity helps everyone to grow.
Mhm.
And though if there are struggle and challenges too,
Mhm.
so what were your struggle and challenges, and how did you cope up with them?
Oh, I mean, I had many. So I started with, like I said, when my dad passed away, trying to look for, a job, and finally landing this job. And then you're there, you're challenged because you don't, because I didn't speak the language as well. Everything was in English. So I had to learn the language in the process, and then had to learn how to work with men as well. They were challenging me and putting me in a box. And later on, getting stuck, because that's how I became an entrepreneur. Because at some point, despite all the effort and despite all the skills, I got stuck, and I had to find a way to unstuck myself. And that's how I started Empty Energy Resources, about 6 years ago, to really, say, okay, I'm creating my table. I'm going to set the rules, and with all the knowledge and the experience that I have, this is what's going to happen. One of the key challenge, however, for me was, being able to balance my family life and my professional life. I was very ambitious, but at the same time, when I started to have children, it became very difficult for me to pursue some of the opportunity to be, to fulfill my ambitions. So I had to look into it and develop a different strategies. So really collaborate with my husband and understand that, my children, as when they were still young, I just had to say bye bye to, wanting to be at the top. So I continue working part time to be able to stay in contact with the industry, but it was hard because I knew that I was just doing it without any ambition, just to maintain, the family, and I couldn't actually achieve what I really always wanted to achieve. But then I understood that it was just, delaying things. It had to happen at some point. Those children were going to be, grown up. And because I was still connected with the industry, I could, in a way, catch up and 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 continue to pursue my dreams. So my girls are now, eight. My youngest is 18. So, it's now about me, and it's now about, my empowering work that I always wanted to do. And as you see, it's just a pleasure to be able to talk to different women all over the world, and really inspire them, share my story, and help them where I can, and push them, because sometimes people say, we can't have it all. Yes, we can have it all, but we just have to face things, to be able to have it all. But we can't have it all at the same time. And I think that's the challenge that I had at the beginning. Understand that, I could still have it, but it just had to be delayed, and I had to be patient in the process. So a key challenge that I had to overcome as well.
Mm. Wow, really great.
Mhm,
So, as like in this, I will add one more question. Like you were into a different sector,
mhm.
and how this woman empowerment, or how did you feel? Did you have to support and help women out? How did this thought process came into your mind, and how
Mhm.
you started working towards it?
So I really started the woman empowerment work because, like I said, working in a male dominated environment, I didn't have the support, I didn't have any role model. So for me, it was, I don't want, any woman to miss out on what, the experience that I had, because it can help them to start in a better, on a better foot. So that's really where I started. So started to really just focus on male dominated industry. So pushing women in those male dominated industries, supporting them, helping them, in their strategy, in how, to navigate the system. So really focusing just on this group of women. And then obviously things started to grow, and I started to get, people calling me in over different, different industry. And so that's really how it started. Just started first with the oil and gas, and then started with STEM, and then it's going now beyond STEM. I have, people, asking me in, different countries, different industries. So it's just amazing, the ripple effect. And for me, really, the important like I said, the ripple effect is really important. I empower you, but I want you to empower others as well. It doesn't have to, it shouldn't stop at your level. It's this story of mine is the story of everybody. So you use this story, you build up on it, and you create a better story, and then you pass it on. That's really what, I'm trying to accomplish, is that the next generation has to be better. The next generation of women have to be better, because we've already done all the mistakes for them. So they should just, learn from that, and then build on, those mistakes, and learn those lessons, and then, go to the next level. So that's really, what I'm trying to accomplish here. And I call this process greatness engineering. Is, you have this greatness, you put it out, and then, you create greatness as well in your environment. And then with your greatness, somebody, create a greatness that is in another level, and you keep going. So that's really what it's all about.
I think you have written a book also about greatness. So is it inspired to this only which you have written?
Yes, it's in this book called Stepping into Your Greatness: 12 Rules for Building an Outstanding Life. I've basically packaged, the different rules that I think have worked for me to be who I am. and helped me to, to do what I do right now. So I've put it in a small book, so just putting the different rules that I think have worked for me, have helped me to go through all the challenges and all the obstacles, and become the best version of myself so far today. And so I can always, improve this version tomorrow. So that's really what the book is all about. And based on the book, I created a coaching program that I share, that I teach to other women. I share with them so that they can use, this coaching program to become as well the best version of themselves, and also, start to uh, always, engineer greatness wherever they can and wherever it matters.
Wow, that's really great. And the last question is, we were speaking about Sampoorna Naari, means a complete woman.
Mm-hmm.
So, as a complete woman, what is that one message you want to give out to the all the women, complete women listening to you out there?
So, to all the women listening to me out there, like I said, believe in yourself, and don't. And one of my motto is, don't let life happen to you, take control of your life. And my motto is really, don't leave anything on the table of life. You have everything that you need, use it. Don't leave it, on the table, because you will regret at some point, or you will not be fulfilled, because you will have left something. So make sure you understand who you are, make sure you believe in yourself, and make sure you understand that you are unlimited, and don't leave anything on the table of life. And that's really my message to every single person listening today.
That's really great, and it's like I think that is very much required nowadays. What you
Mm-hmm,
suggested, because very small things, but somewhere yes, we have to
mm-hmm.
take charge of our own self.
Mhm, 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 mhm.
Unless
And
and
and that's
until
and that's the thing, sometimes we give more to other people than to ourselves as women. So, but we need to understand that, the process has to start with us, understanding who we are, believing in ourselves, giving to ourselves, and then giving to others. Because otherwise we are depleted. We are depleted, and we can't really be fulfilled, and we leave so much on the table. So it's important to understand, no, this time we're not going to leave anything on the table. It's going to start with us. And then this energy that we're going to generate, we're going to give it to other people. But start with being full yourself, and then, spread to the rest.
wow, thank you so much for your inspirational talk. Every question had some or the other point where the journey you shared about yourself, about your parents,
Mm-hmm,
will impact all of us, I think, somewhere.
mm-hmm,
Because sometimes we have to come out of our comfort zone
mm-hmm,
to do or achieve something. And you are the living example who have achieved, and not and the piece is internal as well as external both, which
mm-hmm,
all we are actually we want that way.
mm-hmm.
So thank you for your inspiring words,
You're
inspiring
welcome.
talks. I'm so grateful for you accepting our invitation, coming here, and enlightening all the women who are listening to you. And I will ask if anyone has any queries, then they can ask. Otherwise, we'll end the session. And you can also share how you felt.
Mm-hmm. So, it has been a real pleasure, and I hope, I've inspired as many women as I could today, because like I said, my story is not just my story. My story, I've given you my story. Now you need to build on that to go to the next level, and that's very important. And I encourage you as well to share your story, because like you said, Punam, we all have something, and we have some time to get out of our comfort zone. So it's important to share that with the sisters, and then if a sister goes through the same process, they can learn from you, or have the faith that they can do it because they've seen that you've been able to do it, and you have managed it. So really pushing the sisterhood and pushing women to share their stories, and really putting it out there for other women to learn from it, and to become the best version of themselves.
Thanks so much. It was real pleasure, and we can see the passion in each and every words which you speak. Keep the good work on, and thank you for your time, your energy, your positive vibes. Thank you so much. And with this, we will end today's session.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
It's our pleasure.